Hi, this video is with my Sentinel Seanir, and I'm playing Watchman. I recorded this back on, I think it was the 12th of May when I first started streaming to Twitch. I was hoping to upload this a while ago, but I had exams on Monday and on Wednesday, so I was really busy with those. I now have over a week until my next exam, so I should have time to upload a few videos in between the exams. So usually it's not a very good idea to leap into a big group of people as a Sentinel. I think I knew one of the healers on my team, but even so, I'm going to give them a hard job if the other team decides to focus you. So just sticking to this healer here. Making sure to interrupt the heal. And then spreading the dots over to the other healer. Even if the amount of damage it spreads itself isn't very significant, the more damage you put out, the more likely it is for a healer to make a mistake defensively and allow you to get a heal. I kind of popped my cooldowns a bit early here. I used my Pacify against the Juggernaut straight away and then straight into my Saber Ward. And I did make really good progress, got him down really low. But then he popped his... I've just looked up the name for this ability, but I've forgotten it already, but the one that heals them. There's not much you can do about that as Watchman, because you have your dots on there, they're pretty much going to get all of the ticks, all of the heals off whether you attack them or not. So just decided to go, or try and get back on the healer, as it's not very useful just being out there attacking a random Juggernaut. Luckily our team had managed to get south at this point. Using the leg slash there, the leg slash I think it's called, for the healing debuff on the healer. Also roots him in place because of the utilities I've chosen. Again, getting off a bit of a dot spread. So one healer down, just switching over to the other one. He seems to be running away. Seems he didn't choose the egress utility, so I was able to root him with my leap, which was useful. Otherwise my leap would have been wasted there. In general, it's best not to leap after a sorcerer whilst they're using full speed, because it won't work, because most sorcerers take egress, but this guy just kind of stood still, let me kill him, and that was fairly straightforward. Just deciding to heal up a tiny bit before getting back into the fight. Going straight for this healer. I was hoping for a dot spread there, but got knocked out the way. And once I got back there, managed to spread the dots to two other people. So this healer was guarded, so I switched over to the sorcerer, who was unguarded and who I'd just experienced being a fairly easy target, getting a nice 10k merciless slash in there. Once you figure out one of the healers is weaker, it's generally best to focus them, because even a bad healer is able to output a fair amount of healing, so if you can take one of the healers down, then obviously you want to do that. Deciding not to use my breaker there because it wasn't really very urgent. Again, switching over to the sorcerer. Going on for the sniper for some reason here, not quite sure why. Should have stuck to the healer. So I was a bit distracted at this point, just got attacked by this assassin, so started attacking him, but generally you want to be sticking to the healers, just because it's the most efficient use for your DPS. Getting a nice big crit off there with my Merciless Slash, kind of wasting my Guided by the Force. But now I'm finally back on the healer like I should have been the whole time. And the leg slash there for the healing debuff, another 10k merciless slash, making sure to interrupt his heals. Taking quite a bit of damage there from the snipers, just vanished out. I think that was the reason I switched over to the sniper before, just because he's kind of scary. He can output a lot of damage, so probably just wanted to take him down, but it is still best to stick to the healers. This healer here doing a great job at keeping me alive. I kited a bit as well, but it was mainly just the healer doing a great job with his cooldowns, pulling me away from the assassin there. Still very low, but he's done a great job, and I eventually go down. But stayed alive much longer there than I'd expected. So we're losing mid here, so using my Transcendence to try and get back to the bunker to interrupt. The rest of our team had been fighting away from the bunker. You always want to try and fight in a place where you can easily interrupt people. So just vanishing out to allow myself to get back onto the enemy healer. This guy was guarded, but the guard wasn't in range, so it was okay to attack him. I should say the tank wasn't in range of the healer. So at this point it would have been better to switch over to the other healer, the sorcerer. Just because you generally don't want to be attacking a guarded target, but the tank had switched over his guard at this point to the sorcerer, so I went back onto the operative. So unfortunately for me, I didn't have any dots or anything on me, so I just had to sit there for the full duration of the flashbang. It's not worth just breaking that because I can just be CC'd again. Getting the healer really low here. He had to vanish out. So switching over to the sniper who looked kind of low. Again, should have been on the healer who was also low. I probably hadn't spotted that at the time, but looking back at the recording, the sorcerer was really low at this point. The guy with the target on his head. So one healer down and on to the next healer as before. Really close, but I'd run out of ranged options there. So he's just trying to kite me behind the tree, using my leap to interrupt that heal. I'd overextended to kill him, but I had my force camo to get back to where our healers were. Or healer, I should say. I think we only had one. So making some progress here with the turret. A couple of guys in there capping. Then we're just capping that final bit of south there. So we finally had south back. And again, sticking to the healer. So operative had cleansed my dots. So looking back at this recording, I really could have done with following my own advice and sticking to the guy that we had identified as the weaker healer, the guy with the target on his head. Although it is really tempting to go after the sniper like this, and I actually did manage to kill him in the end, it's much better to be focusing with your team and to be attacking the healer. So as far as I'm aware, there wasn't actually an incoming call for West, which was a bit unfortunate. You should still be checking your map the whole time just to make sure things are okay, but that was a bit unfortunate. Looking at the map, it looked like someone had been guarding West and then went over to East and didn't tell anyone. Using Transcendence to get over to West more quickly. Although as soon as I got there, they'd kind of finished off the assassin already. So just making my way back over to South as quickly as I could. So that was a bit of a strange start to the fight with the cliff there. Unfortunately, he managed to leap a split second before I used my Force Stasis, but I had my Pacify available for his Master Strike or Ravage, and I was really gutted that that guy stole my solo kill, because I've been doing fairly well there. And then make my way back to mid again. So when you go up against a sniper and he leg shots you, you can actually wait a few seconds before using your force camo. You don't want to use it straight away. Wait for them to start casting ambush, for example, or wait for them to start using penetrating blasts. Or penetrating shots, rather. Just makes it last a tiny bit longer. Whereas if you use it straight away, you don't get the full use of it. That probably wasn't explained very well, but just wait a split second to see what ability they're going to use and then decide whether or not to force camo rather than just instinctively force camoing as soon as they root you. So that was some painful burst from the sniper, which is the reason I switched over to him, also interrupting him from capping. Getting off a nice dot spread there, but again should have probably been going over to one of the healers, even though the damage from the sniper was scary. It's much easier to kill the sniper if the healers are dead. But we managed to win it in the end, having to recap South and then West, so it was a nice game where the turret switched between the teams and then got some big damage, which was the main reason I uploaded this video. So 1.7k DPS isn't too bad, with 320k healing. So I hope you enjoyed this game. As I said towards the beginning of the video, at least I think I did, I'll be streaming later today, and I've made a new character on the Bastion. Made that with Twitch last night. I think he's about level 26 at the moment. Just thought it would be worth having a character over on the US servers. So I hope you can join me for that. If not, I will be bringing new videos to you soon. So again, thanks for watching.